Today I'll be showing you how to draw this simple dog illustration by only using the default Procreate brushes. I like to have these settings for my canvas, and after adjusting the canvas to go portrait, I'm going to start by adding my dog Chip's photo as today's reference photo. I draw my dog pretty often, so I have a palette that I could set as a default. I'm going to start by outlining the dog using the Studio Pen tool on 90% streamlined so the outline looks clean but also hand-drawn. When I'm starting off, I like to check how I like the style by making the reference photo invisible and seeing what I drew so far against a white background. One thing I make sure to do is to pay attention to the pressure I'm applying to the brush so that the outline will have the variation of thick and thin lines going through, which gives the hand-drawn look. Once I'm done with the outline, I'm going to duplicate the photo layer to have a smaller reference photo to look back at. This especially helps when you're coloring and want to take the color from the original photo. I'll be using the Moorilla brush for the rest of the drawing. This brush is sensitive to pressure, so even though I have it set at 100% opacity, it will still change depending on how hard I press while coloring. I go in coloring the rest of the face in a slightly different color and leaving the white part uncolored. Since I wanted to see where the eyes are and the dark parts are, I'm going to set the reference photo to a darker opacity and see how the black seeps through the drawing. This style of drawing is super forgiving, so you could be a little bit rough with where you put your details. Once the base color is done, I'm gonna go back in with the details using the same brush in a thinner setting and adding shadows and highlights. The body can be a little bit more difficult because there isn't a significant characteristic to it, especially on light colored hair, but I will basically be using a similar technique using the same brush as the face. I like to add shadows in multiple tones, adding dimension, and using a color similar to the face so the body and the face blends well. After adding more shadows, I thought it looked too streaky, so I went in with the smudge tool and the same Moorilla brush to blend it just right. Once I think I'm done, I always like to go back in with a darker shadow color to add small details to crispen the illustration. I couldn't decide what kind of background I wanted, so I'll be showing you 2 different touches you can make to complete the illustration. The first one I'll be doing is adding color in the same Moorilla brush to give it a backdrop. Since the dog illustration itself is done by a fairly transparent tool, the background color seeped through, so what I did is just added a new layer in between the drawing and the background and added a white form of the dog, if that makes sense. I thought just the aqua blue is too simple, so I went ahead and added yellow and a different blue and blended them together with the smudge tool. Another thing you can do, which I prefer, is to just add a simple shadow using the same Moorilla brush again. And I don't know why, but shadows just makes drawing a little bit better, so this is what I ended up with. Thank you so much for watching, and watch out for more illustration videos to come.